What's good? What's good? This is Steeker. This is Steeker the podcast. Hey man, if you ain't done it yet, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Si te gusta lo que mira, press like. Share this video on your social media platforms. Drop a comment in the comment section. I'm always interacting with mi gente, ya tu sabe. Hit the notification bell to get notified. Visit the website, r2drec.com. We're going to have some new shirts up there. I know the winter's almost over, guys. It's a little bit chilly, so I still got the hoodies up there, but new music is on its way. And hey, man, let's get into this one. At some point in time, as you get older, you got to see where you mess up at, right? You do certain things as a young person, and you invest your money in certain things, and you say, man, I think I'm gonna go ahead and make some money off of this, you know? So I remember when I first came out with my first mixtape, I pressed up 100 CDs. I was out there, and then at the time it cost me anywhere from maybe $100 to $120 just to get 100 CDs pressed up. And then when you do the numbers, let's say you sell them $5, hey, that's $500. And then you kind of re-up, you know, after 100, you do another 100, and then just keep going, right? And at some point when I got to it, I made so much money that I said, hey, with this much money that I just made, the profit that I just made, I'm already working on my second mixtape. Let me get 1,000. I went and got 1,000 CDs, y'all, 1,000 posters, a couple Ride to Die shirts, and I was just telling myself, like, okay, I could do this. Mind you, you know, when you first start out, the energy of how everybody's so excited, your team is excited, everybody's gonna work on something. Long story short, second time around, ain't that many people around me like that. I wasn't good as a business manager and how to talk to my team. I take a lot of flack for that because I didn't know what I was doing. It was my first start, right? You learning how to be a salesman. You learning how to manage a team. You learning how to put business plans together to book shows. What days is everybody available so we could meet up and go sell CDs? Like, it was so much, and then at the time I was so young, right? So I got 1,000 CDs, right? I'm looking at my, hijo de la madre, 1,000 CDs is like climbing a mountain, man. So, especially if you're doing it by yourself, pretty much. So, yeah, it was a bad investment, man. I remember selling like 100 copies, and I was like, I got 900 more to go. So I got discouraged. I was just like, it's just too much. It was just too much. And I lost. I put in, well, I think at that time I put in about 1,500 to do all that. Hijo, man, did not make my money back, whatever. Long story short, I was just like, yeah, it's a lesson that I learned, and I said to myself, hey, never again, right? Now, this time, right, I'm doing these podcasts, and this one video comes across, and I was like, I remember Flocka, yo, hard in the paint. Where he been at? ¿Dónde estás, cabrón? I haven't heard no music from you, but he has this interview with Shannon Sharp, and he said a few things in this short clip that got my attention. And I said to myself, let me listen to the entire interview. Now, the entire interview is an hour long. I said, you know what? The interview was so good, I couldn't just press stop and keep him on. I just kept watching, and I just kept saying to myself, there's a lot of jewels, a lot of diamonds in this interview. So I had to, man, you know what? Let's play a small clip about Flocka Flocka and listen. You know, this goes for the younger person, the older person, the person that's trying to invest, or what you trying to do with your money. Listen, all right, let's go.
Yo, first of all, my whole shit coming up was to make it out there.
Correct.
I'm not one of them niggas to go be a billionaire and go sit in the hood and roll dice and smoke weed.
Right.
I want to buy the block.
Right.
Yeah,
I
let's
want
go.
my name on the block.
Right.
That's going back to the hood.
Okay. Flocka,
But what actually made me stop hanging in the hood was Dick Gregory.
Okay.
I watched this clip. Dick Gregory was like, nigga, why you buy this Rolls Royce? To ride through the hood to show you the richest motherfucker. That I can't buy one?
Yep.
And da-da-da-da. And it's crazy because that's why I bought it.
Right.
I was young, I think we get money on the south side. I'm finna pull a phantom out here, da-da-da. But I was ignorant. And at the same time, I could have bought this condo downtown Atlanta that I ride by every day today.
Right.
Fucking 5 times a lot.
Right.
The egg on my face, right? So when I seen Dick Gregory do that, I actually got out that car. I ended up getting in an Escalade. And I've been driving Escalade ever since 2011. And I don't barely be home. Like, cars to me are just, I start figuring out.
Appreciating assets, huh?
And
come on, we need one to get from point A to point B, but at what point, because you probably had everything. So now, is it a means of transportation or is it a means to get attention?
you know what it was? The problem, this shit crazy. The problem is, like, the things I wanted to be and grow up to be, I got there.
Right.
At 23 years old.
Okay.
I was sitting so high on top of my mountain, I just kept smelling something.
Right.
It just smelled like manure. I was standing on top of shit mountain. I didn't have nothing. I didn't have no business. I didn't have no financial literacy. I didn't have an insurance policy. I didn't know what trust accounts was, shell companies. I didn't know how to go buy tangible businesses. I didn't know nothing. So I'm like, yo, how am I this famous guy and I'm the big homie and y'all respecting me, but I can't even tell you how to go open up a bank account.
Wow.
I didn't.
Wow. Yeah, that interview is something, man. And I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Those are important interviews that I think that any generation needs to listen to. When you come from a background of not having much, and you know your mom and dad or whatever, they don't have those connections, right? And the reason why I go back to the CDs things, right, is because at the time when I first started selling my first 100 CDs, I learned business, money-wise, and I was making so much money that at some point in time I made enough money. Well, I made good money because I remember the amount of CDs, because I started doing the numbers, how many times I pressed up 100, and then you start saying, okay, well, if you sold them for this much, and let's say you bought them for 100 every time you went up there, that's what, $1,200? No, $1,000 pretty much. Let's just say give or take, but I ended up making $5,000. And instead of like saying to myself, let me go ahead and invest this money on something, like investing the money in somewhere else, not pressing up 1,000 CDs because I'm trying to like show off and show that I'm able to, you know, my team, we could do more, we could do, you bite too much that you can handle, you know, you can't, that's too much. Instead of saying, hey, you know what can I do to invest on something that will make money, not put in so much work into physically doing it yourself, or pressing so much or doing so much that you can't even handle what you're doing. So that this interview, man, it gets deep, cabrón. It tells you certain things that you can learn. And I'm not saying I went and bought me a Phantom or nothing like that, but what I'm saying to y'all is that when I was out there doing my thing, I could invest it in something else. It's not just one way. I think I heard a millionaire talk and say, when you start making money when you're sleeping, that's when you're really, really about to make it. Like, that's when you're really doing something. Just think about it, right? If you're asleep and there's money being made when you're sleeping, you in. The mentality that I had when I first had the CDs, right? It was like, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I'm gonna have to put in that work. So look how fast I got discouraged, right? I went from 100, you know, just pressing a button to seeing 1,000, and I got so discouraged so fast. But I should have thought about different ways, right? Creating a website where people, I could have their emails and have those connections with those peoples. And by the time I release something or put something out there, they could instantly go to the internet and just click. And then, you know, it's so many different ways I could have invested my money on, and I didn't even think about other things. So I was just so concerned about pressing CDs and thinking I could make $10,000. But this interview right here, I have to drop the link in my description, man. Shannon Sharp, man, salute, man. This what needs light in today's society. This is what people need to talk about more, because we don't get taught these kind of things at school. We don't. You have to learn this yourself, you know what I mean? But, hey, do me a favor right now at this moment. Subscribe to the channel. Si te gusta lo que video, press like. Share this video on all your social media platforms. Drop a comment in the comment section. I'm always interacting with mi gente, ya tu sabe. Hit the notification bell to get notified. Visit the website, r2drec.com. And always remember, have peace in your heart. Have faith. And never give up. All right, one.